Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. The stamp duty holiday could be coming back next week. Now, what does that mean for house prices? It's going to make a big impact. I'm going to tell you that for sure. Why is it coming back? Who's bringing it back? What's it going to mean for investors? Because property investors, we don't actually benefit from this directly, but we do benefit from this in a very large way. So I want to talk about that in this video too. And I want to get your opinion. Do you think stamp duty holiday is going to come back in the budget next week or not? Do comment below. And while you're here, if you haven't done it already, you know what I'm going to ask. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. We just hit 20,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So thank you to everyone that subscribes. And while you're here, smash the like button, tickle the like button, do something to the like button. That really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate everyone that does that. I know it upsets a few of you to ask, but just do it, guys. It will help us grow the channel a little bit more. So, stamp duty, it's a cost of doing business. It's not something that I like to pay at all. And what happened during the pandemic was that in July of 2020, they introduced the stamp duty holiday. That was because houses were struggling initially. So after we went into lockdown, I mean, it was impossible to view a property back then. And so they needed to revitalise the market in some way, and they looked at the stamp duty holiday. Now, that meant that first-time buyers, residential buyers had a huge cost taken off the purchase of a house. And this cost is potentially part of your deposit, isn't it? And so it's a cost up front. It's like paying your legal fees, your deposit, or something similar to that, a survey cost of some sort. And so when they launched the stamp duty holiday, it had a massive impact. In fact, that year, house prices went up 13%. This was in 2020. So from 2020, a year later, they were up 13%, which is a huge increase. I'm sure you'll agree with that. Now, transactions went crazy. This is when I started looking at launching this channel, and I was investing for my two girls. So I've got two daughters. I've got Georgia, who's 23. I've got Amelie, who is just 3. And the point of launching this channel was to basically keep myself accountable, make sure I'm learning more about what's going on in the market. I've already been a property investor 25 years, but now I'm basically researching everything to make sure I can give them a portfolio too. Now, at that time, when this stamp duty holiday happened, I can recall we went to auctions, we went to online auctions, we went to look at properties off market, and all of them were just getting bid up. In fact, we did some viewings where there were 20 people viewing a property at once. It was absolutely insane. At that time, the agents just weren't taking any offers under the asking price at all. In fact, if you weren't going over the asking price, you're unlikely to even have a chance of getting that property. We tried to bid at auctions, and when we were bidding at auctions, some of the properties were going the same price as if we'd gone through an estate agent. So why would you buy in that method? Because then you got the pressure of having to complete in 4 weeks, whereas with the agent, you could take it leisurely, and it was just a very crazy time. Now, the likelihood is that this is something that they're definitely considering right now. And so the Conservatives have the general election coming up. Makes sense that over the last year, house prices should have crashed. We had interest rates at nearly 7% that you could get, the mortgage rate. Yes, they've come down over the last year, but we had 14 consecutive interest rate rises over a very short period of time. And so what might happen is the Conservatives are looking at making sure the property market doesn't drop. You see, they want to get re-elected. And right now, it's not looking particularly great. They're not doing great in the polls. There's a recession. There's unemployment that's edging up now. We've still got inflation. All of these things are an absolute nightmare for someone that's trying to get re-elected. So what they're looking at is what strategies, what things have they got that they could use to prop up the market or get it moving again. Now, here's what I feel will happen. If they go on a stamp duty holiday again, landlords will not benefit from that. You will not get that on a second home. You won't get that stamp duty holiday. And that's fine. As a landlord, here's how I will benefit. Because what will happen is any chance of a house price crash will go and be evaporated overnight. You think about this. If you take away stamp duty for a year, let's just say, and the interest rates start coming down, and people will get pay rises this year, and inflation drops, that all together means that the market will start to move temporarily. And transaction volumes was up around 60% higher during the stamp duty holiday, and it crashed massively when that ended. Now, as in demand slumped massively at the end of the stamp duty holiday initially, but the market was still fairly robust and it just ticked along as it has done for a few years since. So I think personally, there is a high probability that Michael Gove would introduce this back in, because what have they got to lose? They're either going to stay in power or they're not, and potentially this one could be a real vote getter, because what will happen is the recession that we're in at the moment is kind of technically over already. They've already got some data that says that the economy has kind of rebounded a smidge, not much, but enough to get it technically out of that recession, which will help them. Then house prices are still doing okay. Maybe that gives them a little bit more employment. Interest rates come down, inflation comes down. Maybe those that weren't going to vote Tory will reconsider and stick with that conservative mindset. I don't know. I'm not a political person either way, but I think it's very interesting to see that not Section 21, the stamp duty holiday potentially will come back. I think that will have a very, very big impact on prices. Any idea that I've had that prices will drop in 2024, if this happens, I'm taking that away totally. I do not believe house prices will go down at all. In fact, I think they will go up in 2024 if we have this stamp duty holiday. Let me know, do you think the stamp duty holiday is a thing? Is it coming back? Let me know in the comments. Do subscribe to the channel if you didn't earlier. Do like the video, comment below with any questions or ideas for videos that you've got or questions that you've got. I like to get to know you guys over time. Some of you that have been watching the channel for months and months and months, let me know in the comments, and I personally reply to all of those. And if you haven't enrolled in the fundamentals of property investing, do check it out. I'm going to link it in the description. It's a property investing program that you can get for less than 50 quid. It's a one-off charge. It will teach you how to source properties, what strategies to use, how to get below market value deals, and tons more. So go and check that out while you're watching the video. Do check out some more content on my channel, including this video right here.